Busy, busy time, of course. I mean, it's good to be busy, but also it's kind of weird, right? Because you're busy now, but you're also going to be winding down, right? Because of the holidays.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll be winding down a little bit, and then in January I'll get like a little bit of a break, and it'll start to ramp up again because we got that tour in February. So I'm just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, I mean, that's looking ahead. But if we look back, what an incredible year you've had. Any particular highlights that jump out for you?
Honestly, this year probably getting to tour with Necro GobbleCon. It was just so fun. It was one of the more fun tours that we've ever done, and it was just a good time. Vibes were good and everything like that. So definitely one of my highlights. Along with releasing the singles this year, which have been awesome. So very, very excited to see that people are enjoying those.
A good tour, singles release that people are loving. I mean, that's more than most people get in a year.
Right?
Are you, although, are you kind of like looking forward to having the break over the festive period? And in that thinking, what does a break look like for you?
So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of stoked to get a break. Because the last year has been very go, 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 go for me. Um, so I'm stoked to get a little bit of a break. I'm working while I'm home, which is nice. Like I said, I like to stay busy, but I work at a bar, so it's like it's not that crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like getting to sit down, maybe start writing new music, maybe, start, learning other things like how to program different things into our show and stuff like that. So I'm always trying to figure out I I don't really rest per se. I just am always busy.
Hmm. What about those moments? There has to be a moment, right, or times occasionally where you have to step away completely from from music. What does that look like?
Oh man, when I step away from music, I have my days where it's just like
Hmm.
I can't do anything today. And what that is normally it's like I'll turn on like I'm a big anime fan, so like I like to catch up on my shows, watch that stuff. I'm really big into playing Marvel Rivals right now. It's one of my favorite video games right now. So I'll hop on with the boys, play that for a little bit, get some like comfort food instead of, like the same old like I do a lot of chicken and rice or like stuff like that because I'm trying to like lose weight and everything. But so I'll treat myself every once in a while to like some Taco Bell or some pizza or whatever the hell it might be. But that's my like relaxation time, and that's like close to when I'm burned out. So I mean, I kind of I'm not good about like taking time and just doing a me day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but if you don't feel like you need them, I mean, outside of, I mean, the last thing is nobody wants you to have a me day because you burnt yourself out. Like that just feels like the wrong way to go about it. But if you're happy
Mhm.
and enjoying yourself, you creating and being creative, whatever it might be, I mean, I guess that's the best state to be in, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like when I'm writing music or, doing something fun, I'm it's not as if it's work, you know.
Hmm.
When we're touring, like there's a bit of work involved, but for the most part, it's fun. Like I like to run like a tight ship, but at the same time, it's like cut loose, you're out playing music, you're in another city, country, whatever it might be. Um, so we try to have fun, as much fun as possible when doing those types of things.
Well, I mean, you've got it right because it is, as you say, there is a lot of work that goes into it and it can be incredibly testing. So you kind of find some way of making it fun for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're not having fun, then maybe you're in the wrong industry.
That as well, yes. Do you celebrate Christmas?
Um, yeah, kind of. My family celebrates it more than anything. And my family's like split religion, so like my mom will sometimes celebrate Hanukkah, my dad will sometimes celebrate Christmas. So it's kind of just holiday time, and like they kind of combine the two together.
The reason why I ask is because I kind of wanted to gauge what does your perfect Christmas day kind of look like?
Oh man. Excuse me. Probably hanging out with the family, watching a old Christmas movie like the 1960s, like Rudolph or
Okay.
something like that. There's a honey baked ham and like prime rib and stuff on the table. There's little hors d'oeuvres.
Mm,
That's just like my nostalgic mind. I love all of that stuff when it comes to the holidays.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's lovely. But of course, you are starting 2026 off hot, releasing your sophomore album, Endless, January 16th via Century Media. Where's your head at with it right now? Are you at the stage where you kind of just want it out now, or are you still enjoying the build?
Oh man, I've wanted it out for like the last year and a half. I we recorded this in October of last year and
Mm,
it's been done for quite some time, so I'm just like let's go. Like
yeah.
I'm ready for it to be out. Like I'm glad it happened the way it happened because I feel like we've gotten decent traction off the singles and everything like that too. So I'm very, very grateful and I really hope that people enjoy this album. It's one of my favorite pieces of music that we've ever written.
Mm. It is it's been a fascinating journey. From, as you say, when you wrote it and recorded it to where we are now. And obviously we're still at this stage, promoting this record to try and get as much attention to it as possible. Has there been a part of promoting the record that you've enjoyed more than any other?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I mean, getting to talk with people like you is awesome. So like getting to, meet different people, kind of hear their questions, and know where their heads at with the album is really awesome. My If I had to pick up a favorite part, and this is just me being the musician, it's like it's
Mm,
releasing the singles and seeing the reaction to it. Especially like for a song like Wither, where I didn't really know what was going to happen with it because it's very different for us.
mm.
But it was cool to see that people really enjoyed it and that it stood out. So yeah.
Yeah, that positive response to the singles has been stunning to see. With it Evermore, Vast Eternal, even going back to Seed, all tracks from the new album, the response, to, at least from my eyes, scrolling through comments and things like that, has been predominantly positive. And that must give you some kind of confidence regarding the full thing. Like, obviously, you can't know how it's going to be received, but when all the singles and people are saying, yeah, these are banger, and the love of the direction and love of what you're doing, it kind of makes you sit back and go, yeah, okay, this is shaping up nicely.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we we felt confident with the album when we heard it fully recorded, fully produced, and everything like that. And we were like, this is good. But to
Mm,
hear people say that about your music gives you a different kind of like confidence. It's like, oh, okay, we're not just married to this. This is like
mm.
actually like good, Like it's awesome then to see people connect and vibe with it and have it on their playlists or whatever it might be. It does give you a new sense of confidence when you release your music and people
Mm.
enjoy it.
Do you do you find yourself going down rabbit holes though to try and find sort of negative comments? Because I know a lot of musicians sometimes almost want to find a negative word here or there just to sort of see what someone's hating about it.
I personally don't do that.
Mm,
If it pops up and I see it, I might have like a laugh about it or whatever, but I don't go digging.
mm,
I know a lot of people like that do go digging for the negative comments, and you know, sometimes it's behind a veil of, oh, I just want to laugh about it, or oh, I just want to see what they say, or if they're creative, and it's like, well, why? Like,
mm.
why even bother with it at that point? You're welcoming in negative energy at that point, and I feel like that's just not productive. Um, to each their own, whatever. It's
Mm.
just not something that I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the internet as well, isn't it? If there is someone saying something negative, no doubt it'll be quite loud anyway, so you'll end up catching it if you don't, whether you like it or not. And the fact that the chorus of voices are so positive continues to be the best thing of all. Um, But I want to take you back a bit because, all right, we have the burden of faith, and that goes down a storm, and it's time to follow it up. So, vision. That initial vision for the new record, what does that look like?
Um, it's essentially just a a better dialed in version of Burden, you know.
Hmm.
There were a lot of things that we tried on Burden that maybe didn't sound as cohesive or put together or um as bonded as it should have been.
Hmm.
Um, and with this, we were like, okay, well, let's take the stuff that does work and try different things with it, dial in the sound, dial in the melodies, make sure that, you know, transitions are a little bit better. Things, small details like that. And honestly, I think it paid off because we kind of just went through it with a fine tooth comb. And, you know, our producer, Josh Schrader's amazing. And his process with working on these songs with us was just the greatest recording experience I've ever had. So,
Really?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, we're grateful to be able to work with him. So,
Oh, it's incredible when you can describe an experience like that. I guess that they're so rare. Like, I mean, you can have a great time in the studio, but to connect with a producer to such a level where it becomes intrinsic to the album for you, I guess it's very special.
yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you know, and he's done the banger of the banger records. Like he
Mm.
does Lorna Shore, he does Mental Cruelty, he does King 810, he does Tala, he does Varials. Like, and you know, people are like, I've had some people ask, "Oh, is it because he does Lorna and Mental?" And it's like, well, yeah, but like
Mm.
he does a lot more than that, and there's a lot more to our sound than that. You know, I want a little bit of that King, I want a little bit of that Varials, I want little bit of that other stuff in there as well. So I think we really nailed that part of it.
But of course, you it's got to come from you to begin with. You're the one writing the music. So those early days of writing for this album, I mean, was it all about defining the sound then, as you say? You're looking at what you did in the first album and you're trying to, I guess, embolden that, make it larger, grander, and all of that. So, did you find yourself experimenting a bit, or were you just trying to keep it in line with what you knew your sound was?
Oh no, we definitely experimented a bit. I mean, you know, when you have tracks like Wither or even Endless Loveless on there,
Mm,
it's a risk.
yeah.
Um and you know, I for one think that it's a risk that paid off because it sets you apart from what these other bands are doing. And you know, we could do the deathcore thing all day long. We could do big breakdowns, animal noises, stuff like that. Or we could put a little bit more emotion into our songs,
Mm.
really like kind of lay our souls out for everybody to see and hope that they connect with it, you know? And that's one thing that we've tried doing, and we're going to try other things in the future as well.
I'm glad you mentioned Endless Love List because that is an absolutely staggeringly good track. And yeah, I can't wait to see the response to that one.
Thank you so much, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited about that one,
But
honestly.
what I particularly love is its position. I mean, it seems to me you must have spent time thinking about how this track flowed, track listing wise, where tracks go and the positioning and all. I mean, did you, or did it all come together quite simply?
No, actually, yeah, that we put a lot of time into that and how it would get laid out. And you know, I think we had about, I think 7 or 8 songs going into the studio. Or wasn't 8 or 9, around that number.
Hmm.
So we had to write more going in. So we wrote the intro, which would be Endless Godless. Um, we wrote Endless Loveless, and then we did a B side that's not on the record, and we did another. We actually 2 B sides that aren't on the record.
Mm.
Um, so um, in that, Endless Loveless was originally going to be an instrumental in the middle of the album,
Okay.
and I was messing around with it one day, and I think Levi and Josh were. either working on production or working on drums or something else that I don't really get involved in. I do the singy stuff and I do the guitar stuff. So that's those are my main jobs. But it I was like, what if we added a chorus to this? And I wrote the chorus. And Ricky came in maybe I think a week or two later, and he was like, "Okay, so what are these new songs?" And we showed him, and he was like, he heard "Endless Loveless," and he goes, "An acoustic song." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, yeah, it was gonna be an instrumental, but there is a chorus." And so we listened and waited, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna write. We're this is gonna be another ballad. We're doing this." So, um, yeah, it just kind of worked out that way. And to have a track like that at the very end of the rec, you start with the heaviest thing and then just end with the softest thing, and it just kind of works. You know, it's
Mm.
just two sides to the record.
It is an incredible journey, listening beginning to end. It's one of those things where you can enjoy the singles as slices, little standalone moment singles as they are, and they're still fantastic tracks. But even the songs that are released already, hear them in the context of the record, and it is a journey. And I hope most people give the album the time rather than just sort of trying to cherry pick stuff because inevitably attention spans and all of that. But the full thing deserves it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I really appreciate that, and we we put a lot of time into like the flow of the record and everything
Mm.
like that. So that it is like you said, like a journey from front to back. There's a lot. There's like hills and valleys and all sorts of things throughout the record. So I really hope people dig in. I really hope people see that we did put a lot of time into that.
I think they will. I really think they will. But interestingly, so you mentioned like in the studio, it was a good experience. But did you
Mhm.
run into any particular challenges, things that tested you while in the studio?
Oh yeah, I mean, having to write, having to write and record like four
Mm.
four more songs than what we originally had. Or sorry, three more songs than we originally had technically. Um, was just like, oh my God, how are we going to do this?
Mm.
I'm on a time crunch, and well, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I guess I'm just one of those. We are those people that when we have a deadline, we kind of just work better under the
Really?
deadline. Yeah. Like obviously, if you have some inspiration or whatever, you'll sit down, you'll track it, you'll do whatever at home. But when it's like, okay, you only have a month, so get cracking. Like it's it's kind of like, oh fuck, I really need to do this now. So you kind of just not force yourself into the headspace, but like you kind of just have to put yourself into the headspace of like, okay, this is
Mm.
what I'm vibing with. This is what's going to happen. And this is the way we're doing it.
Do you have a process to get yourself in that headspace if you need to? Is there something you do?
Honestly, my biggest inspiration for music comes
Mm.
from other media. So whether that be watching a TV show, watching a movie, anything like that. Sometimes I'll throw on other songs, but
Mm.
I'm it's I feel like that's the go-to with a lot of people, but with me, I just don't want to really sound like everybody else.
Mm.
I want to take things that people do and make it our own. But I don't want to rely too heavily on that because I feel like we have our sound, we know what we want it to be like, and to throw in things for the sake of throwing in things, it doesn't make sense. So my thought process is, can I hear this part? Can I hear this in a movie? Can I hear it during an action sequence? Can I hear it
Mm.
like as a soundtrack? Like that's that we try to make our music as cinematic as we possibly
Yeah.
can.
It is a thing that really marks you out, Smix, helps you stand out from the crowd. That cinematic edge. Yeah, I want to hear sometimes I think I want to hear some of these songs or some of all sorts of songs like as a soundtrack to a video game. It can work that way, you know?
Exactly. No, 110%.
What were there any particular moments where you felt like this can be from the recording or the writing phase, I suppose, of the album, but where you pushed yourself personally, you pushed yourself in a way that you didn't know you were capable of?
Yeah, I mean, vocally,
Hmm.
I've been doing that. Excuse me. Vocally, I've been doing that for the last couple of years. There was a point in time where I was like trying to sing and like, it kind of worked. And there was a lot of like studio magic that went on to like help me. Um, but I I just kind of worked on myself, and this album really pushed me because I do a lot more singing on the
Mm.
record, especially like, in Wither. There I have parts in Seed and Evermore and Forlorn, and it's it's like you have to make sure that you're being the best you that you can be. So I wanted to really push myself to hit notes that I haven't hit before, to make sure that I was the cleanest I ever was, and to do pretty much to do as little studio magic as possible to make it sound natural. I'm sure there's still stuff on there. I'm sure I'm not perfect or whatever, but it compared to the last album, this one sounds a lot more real, like my
Mm.
actual voice.
That authenticity, it is notable, but it's also about development, right? You're learning and growing as an artist, as a person every single day, and that's what you're taking into this record.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like if you're not pushing yourself to be the best musician that you can be, whether it be singing, drums, vocals, whatever, then you're doing yourself and your fans a disservice. It's
Mm.
like, you're not the only person that's going into this. You got to think about other people. So, that's why it's like I'm always trying to figure out new guitar things to do, new vocal things to do, anything that I can to better my stage show, to better my recording, to better anything.
I cannot wait to see what comes after this. That's the crazy thing. We're not even at the point. I'm already thinking, this is going to be so exciting in the future because this kickstarts 2026, and I want to focus on that because ultimately this is setting the bar high very early on, and that's super exciting for me as a reviewer. But then you've got the huge North American Canadian tour that is basically like 2 months on the road. Gonna be a busy one. So I guess that's the question. Is that the goal for next year? To just get on the road, play these new songs live, dominate as much as possible, all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there was a point where we weren't really touring as much as we could have. And it's, Ricky originally, when he and I started this, he said he didn't want to tour at all. So
Mm.
to getting to this point where we're touring as much as we are is awesome for me. And, I only want to keep pushing that forward, I want to play for more people. I want to go to other countries. I want to come across the pond and go to the UK, Europe, wherever,
Mm.
Asia, Africa. I don't care as long as I get
Mm.
to play, music. So yeah, I mean, the plan is to hit the ground running, and I it seems that so far from the stuff that we have in the works that it's going to be a very busy year for us.
Well, good luck in that tour. I hope it's a fun time because it is such a huge jaunt. But it's all part of an exciting future. It feels like for Ov Sulfur. So I wanted to ask you then, what makes the future of Sulfur for you so exciting?
Honestly, just the progression, and seeing where this takes us. The journey is honestly the best part of this whole thing. And challenging yourself every time you go to record, challenging yourself every time you go on a new tour, upping your stage show, upping your performance, upping your skill level. It's almost like a video game. Like it's kind of awesome to see, and where it's like with the choose your own adventure games. It's just kind of interesting, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of stoked to see where else this can take us. Who knows?
Hell yeah. As I said already, I can't wait to see what comes next. But before you go, I got one more question. It's just a little bit of a silly one, really. So it's Christmas time, it's Christmas Day. Everyone's
Sure.
sitting around the table, family and all of that. And somebody in your family says, Chase, can you play one of the songs off the new album? Play it for us. Let's hear what's going on. What are you choosing?
Um, I'd probably choose Wither just because it is very special to me and my
Yeah.
family. Um, you know, I it might make everybody cry, but it's something. It's something very special, and I was lucky enough show my family, like, prior to releasing the song and the announcing the album and everything, and they just loved it, and it was a good tribute to our grandparents and their parents, and so I'm very happy to do that, and I would do it again and again and again if I could.
That is simply fabulous. And I'm glad that track has been so well received by everybody. And I am hugely confident that the album is going to go down an absolute treat around the world. January 16th, Endless via Century Media. Chase, I want to thank you for giving me your time. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday period and a nice break before it all fully ramps back up again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to me.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.